you ever wondered what the real value of a timepiece is? How much time has been spent perfecting time? Have you ever thought to yourself, gold is just a color? A timepiece does so much more than keep track of time. It's about lifestyle. It's about luxury.
Hello, I filmed this watch commercial that I posted on this channel. I just thought it'd be fun to go through and talk about how I filmed it in case if anybody was interested. The way I'm going to do this is I'm literally just going to watch on my computer I'm just going to watch it back, and then I'll just stop and talk about how I filmed certain sections and how I edited some of it. So if you have any further questions, I might as well just say right now, I created a Discord server. You can join it down below. I'll be very active on there if you want to come, even share some of your own work. If you have any questions, if you want to collaborate, hit me up, just join the Discord server down below. And anyways, let's get started. So first things first, I felt like it just needed some sort of transition element. So I actually just went to Envato, downloaded some footage off of there, and just found some like glitches and just literally downloaded that, slapped it at the front of the video, added some sound effects from Artlist, and then I thought that looked pretty good, so I thought that was a great introduction to the video. The first watch shot. So here's the thing about videos. Audio is 50% of the video. And I think really when you understand that, at least when I've really understood that, that's where I've really learned to grow my skills. So I actually picked out the song before even shooting this. As I was shooting this watch product, I decided to kind of move the lights along with the audio, if that makes sense. The way I did the watch shots was I rented a probe lens from a local rental place. It was $80 a day. I already had some pretty nice equipment, so that was basically the only expense. Except honestly, if you're like looking for budget filmmaking, you don't even need that crazy of equipment. I literally had to blast light in from my windows, and then I just needed like a studio light to make some cool lighting effects on the product. But that was about it, really. And huge shouts to my work that let me borrow some of their equipment as well. Yeah, moving on.
Have you ever wondered what the real value?
So these car shots, here's the thing about the car shots. I don't love them. Let me make that very clear. Especially when it wasn't black and white. It just didn't fit, and it didn't really go along with the vision that I had. And I think something else would have been a lot better. But here's the thing. I made this video all by myself, dude. Literally by myself. Like, nobody else touched the camera. Nobody else edited it. I did the audio by myself. I came up with the concept. I didn't have any help. And this is my friend Grant, super big homie. He helped a lot with this video. Shouts to him as well. He ended up just getting like his grandpa's Audi. I was very grateful for that, thanks to his grandpa as well. I just thought the watch shot, the car shots could look a lot cooler, but they ended up just like not really fitting, in my opinion. I think it could have been a lot better with something else, but that's how budget filmmaking works, And I still think it looks pretty good, so I kept it in there. My dad also drove up. He has a truck, so I asked him if he could help me film some shots. So I just sat in the back of the truck. We just drove up a canyon. I used the in-camera camera stabilization as well. Didn't use any fancy rigs. I should have though, because a lot of the footage was actually ruined by the in-camera camera stabilization by the Panasonic GH5 because the road was too bumpy. I didn't know this about the Panasonic GH5 until just now. But that's kind of how filmmaking works. You know what I'm saying? You just learn things along the way and you make it work through editing. So, moving on. I used a lens, like an actual lens, and I wrapped cloth over the lens, and then I taped the watch onto the lens. I just needed some sort of sphere to put it on. Or sorry, not sphere, cylinder to put it on. Once I did that, just span it around the Lazy Susan, hit the record button, and that's about it. Also, if you notice in this shot specifically, it really shows that there is grain. I hated how it looked just so sharp, so crisp, and I really, really like the grain effect. I love it. It's my favorite. I just used the grain effect made by, I don't know where to put this guy. Made by some guy that is really cool and is a complete homie, because he just released all these grain effects for completely free, and it really added to my video. So thanks to that guy. When filming B-roll, it's also really important to just film stuff around you, right? So when I was filming the car shots, I was like, and you get the road. I should have gotten some leaves and flowers. I should have gotten a close-up of the windows or something of Grant, but we didn't really have a lot of time. The pool shots and the car shots were filmed in the same night, and that was probably done within a total of 2 hours because I didn't want to film in broad daylight. So the pool party shots, I just had one key light, and then I rented 2 RGB quasars, but I ended up not even needing the RGB aspect. But I just had people hold them around, and I thought they looked pretty good. I thought the pool party shots looked good. We filmed it at Grant's parents' house, and they ended up having these wine glasses, and I just ended up pouring Gatorade or Powerade in them because I knew I wasn't gonna have like some crazy close-ups on the wine. So I also really wanted it to be abstract because we didn't have like 8 people that are experienced on camera. So I just had them just pose. And this one was kind of a gamble, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of liked the way it looked. Typically I was wanting like a dinner conversation, and then a close up on the watch. But when it comes to budget filmmaking, you just have to adapt, right? So I just had them all pose. I was very grateful to my friends that came and helped out for free as well. Yeah. Shouts to Grant's parents for helping when it comes to filmmaking. Like when it comes to budget filmmaking, you literally just have to ask everything of everybody every day. So sorry to the people that I asked so much of, but anyways, moving on. Another thing that I thought was kind of important was I didn't want us to see the Relic logo on the watch before the drop. I don't know why. I just felt like a full product reveal when at the drop would be just kind of, So I ended up taking this into After Effects. I just added a shape layer. I masked it, just keyframed the position a little bit, grabbed the 4-color gradient tool, and then I dropped around the watch just to match the colors. And so after that, I feel like you got, especially with the grain effect, the film grain, you got a really good looking, I feel like it's not even noticeable that the logo is missing. So did that a couple times. I filmed this by myself, all right? I filmed this in my apartment with a coffee table and a couple light stands. And so I was like, you know what? I really think it'd be cool if we got the watch spinning, not on a Lazy Susan, like it was flat, right? So I ended up just getting floss from the bathroom, tied the floss together between the 2 light stands, and then I threaded the floss into the, I don't know what it's called, the leather part of the watch. And then after that, I ended up just tying a little piece of string at the bottom as well. And then I just kind of pinched my fingers and spanned the floss until it would kind of spin at the top as well. And then when it started spinning, I'd hit the record button. But the problem is it would also sway towards the lens, towards the probe lens. When something sways towards the probe lens, it's a big deal. That was a big problem that I had to kind of also be okay with as well. Because I was just by myself, I couldn't really figure out a way to fix that by myself. So, sorry. As you can see here, this is also used by the floss tactic that I used. It was cut out, so I ended up just feathering the bottom and the top of the leather part of the watch. And then I just used keyframes to just shrink the footage, rotate it, and then scale it up and rotate back to normal for that kind of wow spinny effect, right? The other very, very important part here is audio. This is what the music sounds like without me editing it, without me touching it. Now this is what the audio sounds like when I cut at the drop. This is what the audio sounds like when I add the sound effects. When you do a drop and a cinematic product reveal, the audio has to be on point. The product reveal. I ended up having to rotoscope out the watch. Didn't take long. It took like 2 minutes. But I mean, I understand rotoscoping can be it could take a lot longer than that. So if anybody wants me to make a video for them, don't get a good idea that rotoscoping is just the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, honestly, the crazy thing is, I guess I did have some pretty expensive equipment already, but this video cost me no more than $200, which is honestly the best. Like, that is just, I'm pretty proud of having it with what I was able to create with such a small budget. I don't think it's the best thing in the world. I understand that I might come off as pretty cocky. I still think I'm a horrible filmmaker and I have a lot of room to improve. But I was just like, you know what? If anybody's curious on how I made this, decided to make this video. Again, if you want to join the Discord and ask further questions, feel free. I also I would also just love to give any feedback on any of your work, whatever you want. Just come hang out. Join the Discord. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'll definitely be making more videos in the future. I'm sorry that it has been a while that we've made a video. My buddy and I work in corporate. We just don't have a lot of time, you know. So I just feel like I've had some time. So I figured I'd just make this video. So thank you so much for watching, and see you later.